In this video, I'm gonna show you how we turn this into this deck here, and I'm gonna be walking you through exactly how to build it and how much all of this costs. So in my case, this cedar decking is actually gonna be part of a sauna platform that's gonna hold a barrel sauna that looks off this cliff here. And we're gonna have a path that continues straight here to the platform where the barrel sauna will be, and that will be your view. First step yesterday was pouring these 6 concrete piers, which all I did was dig a hole 2 feet deep, fill the hole with concrete, then add this little 8-inch section of 12-inch diameter sono tube, fill this up with concrete, and then once it's set up for about an hour or 2, I then put these anchors in so that the concrete hardens around it. And the biggest comment I get on these anchors is that they're never going to be adjustable because the concrete will set in them. All you have to do is, after the concrete sets up for like an hour or 2, just spin it a little bit in the hole like this, and it gets all the concrete out of the threads, and you're just able to pull it out easy. And the way that you adjust these is just by screwing this nut down, which lifts this up. I only use these anchors because it'll make the foundation adjustable over time after a few years with everything settling, instead of having to do a massive reshoring project and having to extend beams and everything. All you do is you just go down there with a crescent wrench, and it takes you a few minutes with a level. You're able to level out your whole foundation. You can see the blue line here is the layout of the cedar deck, and it's going to be 8 feet wide by 12 feet long. So the first step is taking these 4x6 beams. These are going to be the main beams that support all of our floor joists that the decking gets mounted to. So what we have to do first is level these beams out and then cut little filler posts that'll go right here to support the beams and anchor them to these concrete anchors. It looks like about 6 inches there. The height of the first cut really doesn't matter that much. You just have to get it close because the second cut will determine how level it is. And we'll set 4 screws in there. So we put the beam on top of the post there, put the level on top, then I'll lift this up and cut the post where this is level. This is gonna be our first beam. We're gonna go copy this 2 more times. I'm gonna toenail a couple screws coming up through here just to hold this all together. You also don't have to worry about it being level this way yet. We'll get to that in a second. This next step is super critical because you want this to be a perfect rectangle with 90-degree angles on all corners, and you don't want it to be a parallelogram. So I'm gonna show you how I make sure that all of the structures I build are square. Those of you that have been following the channel know that I'm obsessed with this laser, and that's mainly because it can shoot a perfect 90-degree angle here. You can see this shoots a plane of a laser and that shoots a plane of a laser. What I do is I have this laser hit the very edge of this box right there. You can see the laser running straight down that beam, and it also shoots another laser out this way. That way I take the laser, you see that little flash right there, that's the laser line. I line up this next beam with that laser flash there, and that means that it's perfectly in line with this one and staying square. But I'll put a link in the comments down below to a laser like this one. The other cheaper way to do it is to set some string lines and do a little bit of math between the string lines, but I think this is way easier. A quick way to measure your next post is to set the laser to have a plane flush with the top of this beam right there. Measure the height of the beam, so this beam is 5.5 inches tall, and then just measure to the laser. So we're at like 20 3/4 here, so whatever 20 3/4 minus 5.5 is what we're gonna wanna cut the next post to. Got all the rest of the posts cut here. I'm gonna go set that corner laser, and we can start setting the beams on top and screwing all the anchors to the post. This is what I was talking about, lining up the edge of this beam with the laser. This is where it's a little bit of back and forth. You gotta make sure that this bottom one is level. There we go, the laser's right on the edge. You gotta hold it like that, and I gotta go set a screw. Now that we know that end is lined up with the laser, all we have to do is level this post and screw it together. And set the last beam. So we got all the beams set now. I'm gonna level all the tops of these because they're off by maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. I got my laser set up here. The laser line is on my hands right there, and I need to level all the tops of these beams with that, so when we set the floor joists, those are perfectly level as well. I'm gonna go around and screw all those bolts at the bottom on the anchors. To show you what I'm talking about, you can see the laser right there on this first beam. Then on the second beam, you can see the laser on my hands right there. And then same deal on the third beam right back here. So now we know that all 3 of these are perfectly level and square. Next step is taking these 3/8 lag bolts, drilling a hole here, putting washer on the other side, and bolting these things together. Okay, so now the fun part, setting all the floor joists. So these are 2x8s and they're 12 feet long. So I went with about a foot or 18 inches overhang over here, and then we went with an even bigger overhang on this side so that we could get the sauna that much more into the cliff. They're still really wobbly this way because we haven't done our lateral bracing, but this will be the end where we're screwing the rim board on. Let's set the first joist here. I'm gonna line it up with the edge. And I'm just gonna toenail a couple screws in there just to hold this first one temporarily. Before you screw this guy into your next post, you gotta make sure that these guys are perfectly level. So we gotta be right about there. Actually, it's pretty good. So now I'm gonna go set the other side. I'm gonna take the laser, line it up down this face and the back face, and that way I know exactly where to set this one. And then I'll check my two diagonals to make sure that the measurements are the same, and that means we're perfectly square. 174. It literally couldn't have been more perfect. I cut a bunch of these blocking, and these blocking are at 10.5 inches wide, which when you add 10.5 plus 3/4 to get to the center of the board, plus another board, that gets us to be 12 inches on center, which is great for setting deck boards. I know some people sometimes do 16 inches on center, but 12 inches on center just gives you a rock solid base to work off of. And I screw the whole system together on the sides, and I also toenail a couple into the beam so that we can counteract any uplift forces, which there's not gonna be any uplift forces on this, but just makes it that much more solid. I put a screw on the end right there. Wind it over a couple times, wind it over a couple times over here. And that way when I'm setting these joists, all I have to do is scooch it back till it's almost touching the string line, and then I know I'm perfectly flush across the back. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side now. Next up, we're going to be doing these 45 kickers that prevent the whole system from swaying back and forth. And essentially what I do is I cut these 4x4s at a 45, use these 6-inch lags, and then lag it to both the posts down below, and you can see both of the anchors right there. And you can see that I have these kickers going in both directions, so you're almost creating like a tabletop type effect where you have these really strong posts that won't sway any which way, and they just sit on the piers. I got the 45 kickers going this way to prevent it from leaning side to side there, and then we've also got these kickers coming off that prevent it from swaying back and forth. Now when I walk on this and try and shake it, this thing doesn't even budge. Now I'm gonna set this rim board here. So pretty much we're gonna take this board and fasten it all the way around here without falling down this cliff. I gotta get this board to come down a little bit so I can put a screw in from the outside. One thing I like to do is set a screw like that, use my hammer, lift up on it, and push it down to a spot where it aligns with the next board. So then I finish lining up the rest of the rim board with all the floor joists, and then we jump over to the butyl tape, which lines on top of the floor joist and creates a waterproof barrier between the floor joists and the actual decking boards themselves. Before we get back to building the rest of the deck here, I do have to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Factor. For those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you know that I'm a huge fan of Factor, and I've been using their ready-to-eat 2-minute warm it up in the microwave meals for over a year now, and I cannot recommend them enough. For those of you that also live busy, crazy lives, I can't recommend Factor enough. Me working a full-time job, building a house for a client, and running 2 Airbnbs, I have zero time to meal prep and eat healthy meals, which is where Factor comes in. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success. You can skip all the grocery store runs, prep work, and cooking fatigue, and instead you get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your front door with over 35 meal options to choose from per week, including options like keto, smart calorie, vegan, veggie, and so many more. Not only does it take 2 minutes just to warm up these meals, you poke a couple holes in the film, throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you have a delicious meal ready to go, but it also enables me to be able to eat healthy food and skip the the fast food trap of going out to eat and getting this greasy, nasty food that just leaves me feeling unenergized and gross at the end of the day. And on top of that, it's even cheaper than going out to eat at these fast food restaurants, because I don't know if you've seen what inflation has done lately, but it feels like fast food prices have almost doubled in the last couple years. When you order Factor, you can be rest assured that you're making a sustainable choice as well. Factor offsets 100% of their delivery emissions and sources 100% renewable electricity for their production sites and offices. Aside from the 2-minute meals, Factor also offers juice shots, juices, and these smoothies, which I've been obsessed with lately. I snag one every morning before I head off to work, and it's like candy, but it's good for you. Another amazing feature about Factor is that you're able to customize your orders on a weekly basis. So if you're having more friends and family coming to town, you can upsize your orders, or if it's just gonna be you, or if you're gonna be out of town, you can kick an order back a week, and it's just super flexible. Head to factor.com or click the link below and use code DEVONLORP50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code DEVONLORP50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next months of orders. So thanks Factor for sponsoring this video. So you can see that every flat surface that the decking boards are gonna sit on top of is completely covered with the joist tape. So now it's time to start installing the deck boards, and if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, it really helps out to get these videos out to more people. And plus I'm doing this in the rain, so I appreciate a little like button there. Here's our deck boards here. They're 12 feet long. I'm gonna be flushing it out with this end. And then on this side, you can see that we're a little bit short, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So let's go secure these to this side. When I do decks so that we don't have a bunch of screw holes in the front face, I use these camo screws, which have a really low profile head. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't have a big old head like a normal screw has. And if you angle these on a 45 on both of the edges of the board, you can hardly even see the screw holes. It also helps to make your wood last longer so that you don't have water sitting directly on top of these screws and slowly eating away at your wood. Just like that. And over time, as the cedar swells and fully dries out, it'll actually even fill in this hole a little bit. And once you seal coat it, water's not getting in and this thing is rock solid. So there we go. The cedar is all the way along the side there, all the way along this side. Now that all the rim boards are on, I can start laying decking boards and working my way back here until we get to the front. So I ended up heading out yesterday afternoon. As soon as I filmed that last clip, it started downpouring. So I'm back here today and we're gonna finish this sucker up. So you can actually see how it's wet on top here, and that's how this joist tape works. It keeps all this completely dry underneath so that when the boards sit on top here, it doesn't rot away at this wood on the underside. So I just line them up on this edge, flush with that face there, and then this camo tool fits in just like that. So it has this little spacer right here, which works as a spacer there, which when you have a 5.5 inch board, you can put a screw here, screw there, and then you just screw right through these holes. Since I only have 3.5 inch boards, I'm just putting it in as a spacer, and then I screw it at an angle here, and an angle there, and that's totally fastened. And then you have a nice little gap for the water to drain through. So I got the decking up to here so far, and what I've done is I've laid out these last 3 boards that are gonna go just like this. I added the little spacing, the gap in between, just like that. And you can see this is how it's gonna flush out here. So I ended up cutting this face flush right here, and then I cut back this floor joist by 1 inch, which is the thickness of these boards here, so that we'll have a board running face to face, just like that. And then in between this end and the other end, we're gonna fill it in with another rim board. And just like that, she's all, oh no, I just knocked over my whole box of screws. All right, let's do that again. Well, that is it. I put the front 2 trim boards on there, sprayed everything down. It had a bunch of footprints on it from when I was all muddy walking around. So we'll give it a couple days, let it fully dry out here. I just use a clear sealer so it keeps this natural cedar look that looks so good and matches the sauna as well. If you guys wouldn't mind liking and subscribing to this channel, it really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate all the channel members. You guys really help to keep at least a little bit of food on the table for me. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next video.